The fountain being turned on today is representation of the strength and a community's conviction to prosper when everyone else thought it was impossible. As I mentioned, the Young Thundering Herd, and we have many Young Thundering Herd players here today, they lit the torch to shine a light on a very gloomy time of Marshall and the Huntington community, and that torch continues to shine bright today. And we've had so many tremendous accomplishments since November 14th, 1970.
I've said that the essence of Marshall, reflected in our famous refrain, "We are Marshall," really conveys a spirit of hope, spirit of love, and a unity of spirit. And our spirit is one that perseveres and grows with each new son and daughter of Marshall. The family and the legacy of Marshall is strong and growing. Turning on of the fountain today will symbolize the rebirth and rekindling of the spirit of a strong university which can pull together in times of adversity and march forward to the future. I'm proud of all of our family, those of us that are with us today in body, and those that are with us today in spirit. To paraphrase the words of William Faulkner in his acceptance speech for the Nobel Prize, we will not merely endure, we will prevail.
You see, as I came here today and talked with people and looked at this gathering and took in the atmosphere of the ceremony, it suddenly felt like I was home. Like someone who'd been on an extended journey who finally finds himself back among familiar places and familiar faces. And I realized I don't have to bring a message to the fountain ceremony. The message is already here. Not just the Marshall football program rose from those ashes, so too did a sense of community, a sense of family, a bond. And that bond, in an age when it sometimes seems like everything is coming unglued, that bond in an era of divisiveness, that sense of community, that sense of family, that bond is something very, very special and unique to this place. And that is the message of the fountain ceremony. Just as the waters of that fountain will continue to flow, so too will the sense of family, the sense of community, the bond that all of us here at Marshall share. And that is the true message of the fountain ceremony.
You know, until this past August, I really didn't know what it was like to experience that kind of loss. When Phil Ratliff passed away, that was when it kind of hit me, and I can kind of equate on a very, very small and individual level what it was like to lose those guys back in 1970. It's something that's hard to think about. You know, but I look at this as not a tragedy from that time. I look at this as where we've come. You know, look how far we've come since November 14th, 1970. We are the greatest comeback story in the history of sports. People call us the greatest tragedy in the history of sports. This is not the greatest tragedy. Now where we are is the greatest comeback in the history of sports. We went from celebrating first downs and field goals to winning championships in the late 80s and national championships in the 90s. We were the winningest program in the 90s, and that is for all of college football. You know, I owe everything I have in my life today to Marshall University, my parents and Marshall University. I got to make sure I mention my parents, they'll kill me. You know, this university and football program mean everything to me. The guys who were here for our reunion, the guys that couldn't come in for the reunion, mean everything to me. You know, this school went from being a place that I had never heard of to being the place that I will never forget. I've been here for the last 23 years. I came here in August of 1993, and I left for a brief stint, but I have been here pretty much my whole entire life. My whole entire adult life has been here. Kingsport, Tennessee is my hometown and where I was born, but Huntington, West Virginia is my home.
There we go.
Thank you so much for coming. Please enjoy the rest of your day.